Dear viewers of the Tom Photo channel, a while ago I made a video on how to buy used cameras, which you can find linked below. Now I'd like to guide you through the process of buying used lenses and avoiding common pitfalls. Here are my tips for a successful purchase. Tip number 1. Meet the seller in person whenever possible. By inspecting the lens firsthand, you can spot potential issues that might go unnoticed if the lens is shipped. Here's what to look for during your inspection. First, test the rings. Do all the rings operate smoothly? Do they click as they should, or have they become loose from heavy use? Secondly, check the aperture blades. Ensure they function properly. Watch for oil on the blades, especially with older lenses, as it can impact performance. Then inspect the lens markings. Are they worn off from extensive use, or are they still clear? Also examine the mounting ring. Is it sharp and undamaged, or does it show signs of wear? Then inspect the glass surfaces. Look at both ends of the lens at a 90-degree angle to the light to detect any micro scratches. Also check for coating damage. Lens coatings are essential for reducing reflections. Any damage here would degrade image quality. Look inside for dust or mold. Dust is common, but mold is a bigger issue, especially in humid climates. Then try to find out if a protective filter was used. If the lens has always been used with a filter in front, its front elements are likely in better condition. The filter thread can look pristine in both cases, so dig deeper if possible. Ask about the previous owner's cleaning habits. If the lens looks suspiciously spotless but wasn't used with a filter, find out how it was cleaned. Ensure the previous owner did not use something damaging like a t-shirt. Tip number 2. Avoid lenses with visible damage. If there is any physical damage, such as a dent, just walk away. Precision optics do not respond well to drops, and even if the lens seems fully functional, it might suffer from subtle alignment issues. Tip number 3. Check for signs of tampering. If the screws appear to have been unscrewed or the paint around them is chipped, this could indicate a previous repair attempt. The lens might have been opened for cleaning or repair, potentially to cover up an issue before selling. Tip number 4. Test the lens on your own camera. If possible, bring your camera to test the lens before buying. Ensure that both autofocus and manual focus work correctly and that the lens performs as expected. Tip number 5. Beware of lenses without caps. A lens sold without caps is a serious red flag. Any responsible photographer knows the importance of protecting their gear, so a missing cap could signal carelessness. Tip number 6. Avoid buying from professionals. While it might seem counterintuitive, pros often use their lenses heavily and may sell off their least desirable copy. They might even have multiple versions of the same lens and unload the one with issues. Amateurs, on the other hand, often don't have that knowledge. Tip number 7. Consider buying a lens with a camera. Buying the lens as a part of a bundle with a camera can sometimes be a safer and more economical option. You're purchasing a functional setup, not just a leftover lens. Plus, bundles usually come at a lower price, and you can always sell the camera body later if you don't need it. Tip number 8. Research thoroughly before buying. Do some digging on the lens you are interested in. Certain production years or serial numbers may have known issues. Check if anyone online has tested the lens and flagged problems at certain f-stops or focal lengths. If you're buying from a lesser-known brand, do even more research. Tip number 9. Consider image stabilization and weatherproofing. Think about your specific needs. Does your lens offer image stabilization or weather sealing? These features might be crucial depending on how and where you shoot. Tip number 10. Know the filter size. If you already own filters, make sure the new lens can accommodate them. If the lens requires a larger filter, this can become costly. If the lens takes smaller filters, it's usually easy to adapt. Tip number 11. Look for lenses that come with a dedicated hood. A lens hood not only cuts down on unwanted side light, but also offers extra protection for the front element. If a seller includes the hood, it's a definite plus. Tip number 12, check the market price. Before you buy, check platforms like eBay and Amazon to gauge the average price of the lens. You don't want to overpay unless you're buying from a reputable dealer who adds the benefit of a warranty and peace of mind, especially valuable when dealing with expensive lenses. Tip number 13, do you really need the lens? Lastly, ask yourself if you truly need this lens. If you're transitioning from a zoom to a prime, for example, check your old photos to see how often you shoot at the focal length you're considering. I once debated purchasing a 23mm lens because while it's popular, I realized I don't use that focal length as much as others. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any additional tips, feel free to share them in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and giving it a like. Best of luck with your next lens purchase, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.